I am pleased to be joined right now by now former Tigers manager Ron Gardenhire and his wife Carol. You guys, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I know it has probably been a busy couple of days, maybe even a week here.
Yeah, it's been a little hectic and a lot of emotions, but we finally made it home, drove back to Minnesota, beautiful through the upper Michigan part and around the lakes, and my wife just really enjoyed that part. So it was a nice ride.
It's a very pretty drive, but we want to start this off, Gardy, by saying thank you. You've done amazing things here in Detroit. And the most amazing part is that even guests that we've had here on the Word on Woodward since last weekend that you announced your retirement, people have told stories, and all of the stories have been personal. They really haven't talked about anything that you've done on the diamond, which has also been successful with over 1,200 wins as a manager. When you look back at your time in Detroit, are you going to remember those types of things and the relationships that you built more than any awards or the number of wins that you accumulated?
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure. Wearing the old English D and you know what? All the people you get to meet, the boss, the owner, Mr. Illich was fantastic to us, and a lot of great experience. The only thing we missed this year were the fans, not being at the ballpark. That's been kind of one of the hardest things.
It must have really been a difficult decision for the both of you. And I know you mentioned that you're going through a lot of emotions, but looking forward, are you guys excited for this next chapter of your lives?
Oh yeah, I get to follow her around in the grocery stores and shopping. Wow, I'm fired up about that. So,
You know,
you know what?
Gardy, I don't know how excited she is. Carol, do you show the same excitement for that?
I have my system in the grocery store. It's a little different when he's there.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I am excited for the two of you, but there's a lot of other things that you guys have done here in Detroit, especially. You were very, very involved in the community, working with the Detroit Tigers Foundation, especially. Can you guys just talk about some of the work? And that only touches on the tip of it. There is a lot of stuff that you guys have done, but talk about what you've done and what the Detroit community has meant to you.
I'll let Carol start on that because she's the one donating our suite that we had gotten a suite so we could donate it and get a lot of people an opportunity to go to the ball game and I'll let her talk about that because she was firsthand with that.
well, with the suite, it was awesome because they let me give them a list of who I wanted to donate it to. And like, for example, our youngest daughter has epilepsy, so Epilepsy Foundation was on there. And we are real passionate about the ALS, and so that was on there. But we had like 12 different organizations that we donated the suite to. But I was also able to ride around in the truck handing out food and soup and stuff to the Salvation Army truck. I did that a few times. And we went to the pet adoption center a few times. And I mean, we did so many things, and it's just so important for me to give back to the community that I'm in. And the people in Detroit were so wonderful and so fabulous. I'm just
And
gonna
the
miss
military,
the military. Yeah.
donating to the veterans coming over in that suite. They told us that's how well the Detroit Tigers people treated them going up to that suite to watch a ball game. It really took care of them and how much they appreciated that. And that means everything to me because my father was military.
I know I speak for everybody in the Detroit community when I say that we were really thankful to have you guys here in Detroit. And Ron, you have actually been coming to Detroit as opposition, so to speak, for decades. You have come
Yeah.
to the city of Detroit, the state of Michigan. What did you learn with like during your time here in Detroit? What did you learn about the city of Detroit and really the state of Michigan as a whole?
Well, I mean, the passion, from the fans, and you don't really, when you come in from the other side, you don't really
Mhm.
get to venture out too awful much. But the one thing that we've been able to do is just see how really beautiful Detroit is and the whole area around. We mostly stayed up in Troy. Driving through Upper Michigan was fantastic. I went on Caravan a couple times and it was snowing and how beautiful it is. And then the people, they're so passionate about this baseball team. Tigers fans, they're unbelievable. Like I said, that's the hardest part of this year, which put a strain on all of us that we just didn't see our fans, and they're the biggest part of the game as far as I'm concerned. So you know what, it's just great people. Al Avila, like I said, the Illiches, they've just treated us so well, and you know what, I know we didn't win as many ball games as we wanted to, but I will tell you this: the guys that came in to play for us, they really played hard and they gave us everything they had, and I think Tiger fans should be proud of them.
Ron, when you're talking about the organization, especially guys like Alavila and of course the Illich family, when you were making this decision ultimately to retire, how supportive were they and how helpful were they during that process?
Well, Al was shocked, to tell you the truth, because he just walked into my office and I had told my coach and staff that I was going to let him know before we went on this last road trip. And we had a very, good conversation. I think I shocked him because he kind of was relieved a little bit because he was trying to figure out what I was going to do. And actually, I think when I told him, he was kind of relieved at first, so he didn't have to make any kind of decision. He'd rather have it on me. But then, as we talked, I told him how I'm feeling at that moment. I'm just honestly, I was beat up. Your hands start shaking, and it's all tension and all those things. And it was just to the point where I said, I would like to do it right now, Al, because right now I'm so uncomfortable with this whole situation as far as COVID goes, and I had that stomach problem in Minnesota, so I just wanted to make sure that we did it right. And everybody kind of was shocked, but even Carol was shocked because I went to the ballpark, had no intention of retiring at that moment, but I knew it was the right thing as soon as I'd done it.
Well, you have all of our support, Ron, and I know you have the support of the entire Detroit community. I do want to ask you a bit of a fun question here. A lot of the players that we have talked to about you, we actually as a company even got to talk to Torrey Hunter. He told a few stories about your prankster days. So I know that you go around with a pen that would zap them and that kind of thing and just have some fun with your players. Are there any stories that stick out to you that you can tell us?
Well, I'm David Ortiz. I got him, probably more than any player because he was so gullible. I even got him after the fact. I had an electric can that I would sit down and I'd say, David, can you throw this away? At least 3 times he picked it up and shocked himself. So, but then on the field in Boston, I had that electric pen and I sent one of the clubbies out to left field where he was standing while Boston was taking BP and said, just tell him Gardy wants an autograph. And he took his batting glove off and we all stood there and watched, and he pushed the end of the pin and it shocked him right on the field. That was my best one. I thought that was fun.
Carol, does he do this to you or does he know better?
He knows better.
Okay, so we can't break the wife with the players. Got it. And lastly, Ron, I just want to ask you, like I said, you meant a lot to the community here in Detroit, especially the Tigers fans, and it really is unfortunate that they didn't get to share this final season with you. So do you leave them with any sort of message?
Well, I'm just here to say this. From what I've seen and what I've been a part of, this organization has always been great, but I think you're going to see greater things ahead. There's some really, really talented young players that are on their way and have some have arrived now with Willie Castro and I think Daz Cameron is starting to show that he can really play. So it's fun stuff. Mize and Scooble. There's just so much to look forward to, and hopefully next year we'll get back on the field. They know, Al Avila and them know that I'm going to get on my Harley. Carol will probably ride with me. We'll go to Lakeland to mess with them. So I want to do that. But you know what? Tigers fans, just keep your heads up. Great organization, as good as it gets. And I just say thank you to all of you for the way you put us into your lives. And we did the best we could. And hopefully that'll be the memories.
We thank you so much for everything that you both have done here in the city of Detroit. But before I let you go, we have a little surprise for you.
Uh-oh. That feels pretty good.
How are we doing?
Welcome to Detroit.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Good to have you.
Is this a party? Good luck. Do the stretch. You can talk and stretch. Come on. You guys know what field you're on? Workouts? Heads up.
Shoot.
You know what? We watched him run, and he acted like he was pulling pistols out when he scored, and looked at me because I called him John Wayne. So standing here right now, one of the first things that comes to mind is how much taller I am than Al. I really didn't realize that. I knew he was going to say.
Your young kids involved in the Tigers Kids Club and Fan Club. I'm really good with a prompter.
And here comes Ron Gardenhire, and here we go. This is going to be fun.
Oh, Ron Gardenhire just got tossed.
Is that FaceTime? Hi. Hi. What's up, folks? How we doing?
Great. I don't know how to do that. Whoop.
Fumble.
Don't you cry. Don't
Aw,
you do it.
I can't lie. I teared up a little bit too. It was such a heartfelt message party, but I think we all felt it when we watched it and seeing that video that the Tigers made. Of course, great job by them. And it really highlights everything that you've done here in Detroit. And we thank you so, so much.
Well, thanks for everything. Thanks for having Carol and I on. And like I said, we just appreciate everything, and we've had so much fun. And I think that's probably why we're both crying a little bit, because we're going to miss it. But like I said, I'll find you on my Harley. I will find them.
I'm looking forward to it, Gardy. I've never seen this Harley in person. So next spring training, I'm really hoping that I get a chance to check it out.
Oh yeah, it's a big trike, so it's easy for us to ride.
All right. Thank you both so much. I really appreciate it. It's been great having you here in Detroit, and we will catch up with you soon.
Thank you. Take care. Stay safe.